talk about spuds. What potatoes are you growing this year? Hello friends, and welcome back to Amir's Allotment. In this episode, I'll be sharing with you some of the spuds that I will be hopefully growing this year. But before that, let's head over to the allotment plot and let's take a look around and see what's going on. Obviously at this time of the year, probably not very much in terms of growing. However, we've still had quite a bit of rain recently, and I've been reading up that the water levels have been rising again in some nearby rivers. So it's nice to come over and take a look around. I'll just show you the field over here because the river levels have been rising again. And yeah, we've had some more flooding in the field next to us. Hello Bob, it's been a while. I know mate, how have you been? You've been busy defending your territory. Yeah, I know. It's a busy time of year, mate. Exactly, absolutely. Well, I've got you some snacks. Just look at that face. Good morning friends, and welcome back to Amir's Allotment. It's a lovely morning. It's been a bit wet overnight. I've noticed the river levels have been rising, so I have noticed that we've had still quite a bit of flood water in the surrounding fields. And I'm just over here on the allotment plot. I just sort of come, have a look around and do a little bit of tidying. Bob's just there behind me, singing away, so he's in a really good mood today. If you take a look at this bed here, I've just been clearing out a little bit, but despite all the weather that we've had, this spinach is still going strong. I've still got quite a bit of spinach and some chard at the back there, so just going to give everything a little tidy. And yeah, it's perpetual spinach, so yeah, it's known to, it's like a perennial. It will just keep coming back every year and keep growing. So yeah, I'll give this bed a little bit of a tidy today. This will be my first full plot tour of this year, and the allotment is in a really poor state at the moment. It's winter, I don't get up to much. We've had floods, the ground's still really wet, so I'm not able to do that much gardening. So I want to show you the whole plot in its current state, so that throughout the year I can continue to update you on my progress, and we'll be able to see how I can turn this mess behind me around and how things will start looking, hopefully, fingers crossed, nice for the summer. So these large strawberry bed at the front. Look at this. Do you remember Beanstalk, the largest sunflower that I had on my plot? Giant sunflowers served an important purpose on my allotment plot. In the height of summer, it was a hive of activity for the pollinators, and then in the autumn months, as it began to dry out, the seeds were an important food source for the birds. I'm never in any hurry to remove the large sunflowers from my allotment site because I know that they're important for the wildlife. Look, it's still there. The birds had what they needed to have, all the seeds, and yeah, look at that. Should have cleared it up a long time ago, but I've not been on the plot for such a long time. So let me just show you the allotment currently in its current state. So my allotment plot is this whole area here, and then a grass path that runs between, and then this area here from this raspberry bed here. So where I've got, again, I need to get rid of these this year and update them and have some more canes put in. But yeah, so this is currently how it is. So this is my plot with the grass path in between, and this side as well. And then we've got a shed, greenhouse, some tunnels, not much going on at the moment. So you can hear the birds in the background. It's a lovely day today. Very, very wet though. The ground is so wet. So over here, I'm going to clear all this area out. This is where we had the majority of the flood water. It sort of was on this side of the plot. You can see field there, still flooded. So yeah, so this has really been flooded. So what I'm going to do is take all this up, clear all this area at some point, and tidy it all up. And the plan for this year is flowers, lots of flowers. I'm going to have rows of flowers that we can use as cut flowers, so I'm really looking forward to that. There'll be dahlias, more gladioli, some delphiniums, just lots of really nice cut flowers, and this whole area here is just going to hopefully be full of colour. And then I've got some beds here which I will fill up with, so I'll update these. At the moment in this one, some leftover beetroot and some grass, so I'm going to tidy that up, and then I'll fill. What I tend to always do is these are a little bit no dig, so what I tend to do is clear them out, fill them up with some nice manure and compost, and yeah, so these are where I usually get all my veg in. Haven't planned what to put in the beds yet, but we'll get some things in. This is the garlic, which seems to be fine, but I don't know whether that's okay just yet. And so yeah, just another bed and another bed, and then I've got two beds over there, and this tunnel which I need to update this year. Tucked behind my greenhouse are my compost bays. I'm going to put another bay here. I'm going to clear these brambles and put another bay here, because as you can see, I have been piling up things there, and they can do with being put into a compost bin. Over here, this is our first compost bin, and take a look at this soil. It's been covered for about a year, and yeah, I would say that it is ready. I will sieve through it because there will be certain weeds in there, and I'll try and make sure that we don't get any bindweed roots in there and then put them onto the plot. But yeah, the bay here as well, as you can see, has really composted down nicely. I'm going to add some more ingredients to this one, because usually what I tend to do is sieve through, try and clear any sort of bindweed roots or anything like that, and then keep topping it up with ingredients. Now this particular bag here that I've just included, I'm just going to empty the contents out and add it as an ingredient to my compost bin. Basically what this is it looks like wood shavings, but it actually is chaff from roasted coffee beans. There is a coffee place nearby that roasts beans, and occasionally, well, very often they have this available, and I can just pick it up for free. And it's a good ingredient, I find, putting it in the compost bin, because yeah, it just allows things to heat up quite nicely, and it just becomes a mulch straight away, really. And so sometimes, yeah, I like to add some of this to my compost bins just to help really accelerate the process in terms of making compost. Now, I'm no composting expert at all. I barely know anything about composting, but I know that you get your essentials, your greens and your browns in there to really keep the process going. So I find that this is really, really useful. And so yeah, I'll just add this in to this bay, and yeah, we'll keep going and see if we can make some more lovely compost for our allotment. So my plan is to continue to add to this bay. I'll get some more rotted horse manure and also any other contents from the plot that we're just looking to compost and keep adding to it and keeping this bay covered. And yeah, let's see how it goes. Hopefully we'll be able to have some really lovely compost for our allotment very soon. I got back from the allotment and I thought it might be a nice opportunity to sit down with you for a while and talk about spuds. What potatoes are you growing this year? I stick to the ones that are my favourites every year, so I always grow Charlotte as a main crop. Well, it's a second early, but I grow it as a main crop. And my first early is usually a Red Duke of York. Last year I had a bit of a mishap. I went to the garden centre and you know when you pick the potatoes that are open, and I picked a whole bag full, which I thought were Red Duke of York, but they turned out to be a white potato. I think it might have been Charlotte. The thing with seed potatoes is they all look exactly the same. Even the bright red ones, they don't look red because they're covered in soil, and you don't want to go around sort of licking potatoes to find out if, don't do that to find out if they're a red potato. But this year I will be doing the Red Duke of York as my first earlies, although to be honest I tend to leave them in sometimes a little bit longer because then you get some really nice large red potatoes, so they're my favourite, so I'll be doing them again this year. I haven't picked Charlotte here, but I am going to grow Charlotte as well. Another second early which I thought I'd try this year is Sarpo Una. So that's this variety. It's a red, never tried that before, so it'll be interesting. Apparently on the packet it said they're really good for salad potatoes, but they're also really good for baked potatoes. So yeah, I thought that'll be really nice. This one was recommended by Danny at Grow Up, and it's obviously, yeah, pink for apple. So I'll be doing these. These are a main crop, so we'll leave them in, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to trying these. They're again apparently really good for salad potatoes and for boiled as well, and roast. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to pink for apple. And another one as a main crop, another red, is this one, Heidi Red. They look brilliant, honestly, they look so nice on the pack. And these are as well very good salad and boiled potatoes as well. So those are the ones that I've picked from the garden centre. I always get really excited. How do you grow your potatoes? Do you grow them in buckets? Do you grow them straight into the ground or in no-dig beds? I usually dig trenches on my allotment and then I put them in, because I slightly prefer that method because I don't like continuously having to top them up with soil. I'm always busy doing other things, and I sometimes find that that way. But I might do a little bit of that technique if I get some of these into my raised beds, because they are raised, they are no dig. But if not, then I might do the same method that I was doing last year, and that is to just put in a trench and then pop them all in. So yeah, exciting, isn't it? It's so exciting when you get seed potatoes, because it's that time of the year where you think, it's happening, and it's happening soon. You know what I said as well, that oh, I would not be growing onions from sets this year. Well, what happens when I went to get potatoes? I ended up picking some onions, some sets. These are Hercules. I was reading them and it said they're really good for storing, and they're good for planting in the spring as well. So yeah, I thought, you know what, I'm going to try these. So Hercules is one of the varieties that I got, and I also picked up a French shallot as well, and these are a mild flavour white skin variety, and they're good for planting in the spring as well. So yeah, I thought I would get those. And another spring planting garlic that I picked is Eden Rose. A French garlic. I think it's a French variety. Yep, French garlic, Eden Rose. So I've picked them as well.